Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's workshop watch party. Thank you all for joining us for today. Today's workshop topic, how to fill out a job bank profile. All right, let's go through our announcement. So again, good morning and welcome. This week's workshop topic, again, how to fill out a job bank profile. We would like for you all to join us by clicking on the video with the blinking border on your page. So if you are watching the video with no blinking border, please join us above or below for the watch party. If there is no blinking border, then there's a blinking number in the top left or right corner of the screen where the watch party is playing, okay? Awesome. Now, if you are having trouble or issues watching the watch party, iPads have a problem with the watch party, so try to use a computer or phone instead to join us. Again, I want to thank you all for participating, no matter what time it is. You are all great and we appreciate you. Just to remind you all, workshops are happening every Tuesday and Thursday from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. We also have a YouTube page where we post our videos weekly that any of you may access with a request to do so. And also, please remember to like our video after watching it. All right. Now, before we get into this week's workshop topic, let's review last week's. In last week's workshop, the topic was skill matching job fit and job ads. So my question to you all is, what are some basic tips for applying to a job ad? Okay, you have 2 minutes starting now. Five, four, three, two, one. Excellent, guys. Great. Thanks for responding. So the main tips that Jennifer discussed in last week's workshop were to make no errors, follow the instructions as on the ad, and have a super awesome resume, and a tailored cover letter. Okay? Awesome. Now, today's workshop is, again, how to fill out a job profile. So we're going to get into that right now. Let's create our profile, guys. So I'm going to be using this LinkedIn job ad today to create our profile. Okay? So if you all give me 2 seconds, I will get that all clicked and set up for us to begin with. I'll try to stay as steady as possible while doing so as well. Great. Okay. So, for all those who don't know, this is the Indeed website for job searching. Today, I will be creating a new account on the Indeed website for job searching, and I will be showing you guys the best way for me to do that. Okay? All right. So, right over here, we have upload your resume on the top right of your screen, right over here. Can you guys see where my mouse is? Perfect. Right next to that, we have sign in. Okay? So when you're creating a job bank profile, these are the two buttons you'll want to be looking for. Upload your resume and sign in. I usually like to sign in first because this is where I will create an account if I don't have one. Once I've clicked the sign in button, as I just did, they have an area where you can enter your email address, your password, and sign in. Or you can sign in with Google, sign in with Apple, or sign in with Facebook. Okay? Now this area is if you already have an account on Indeed. If you do not have an account, then you need to drop one more below. Right here it says new to Indeed, create an account. Awesome. That's what we want to do today. So we're going to click that little line. Now they have asked me to enter my email address and then a password. Now, for those of you who have a Google account, you can sign in with Google. I have already signed in with Google through Indeed. That's why I will be making my account from scratch today for you guys, okay? So you can, though, choose to sign in with Google. If you have a Google account, you can choose to sign in with Apple. If you have an Apple account, Apple ID account, and you can also sign in with Facebook if you have a Facebook account. Sometimes it's easier to sign in these ways as you don't have to create a new login for the site. That way you always know what your account login information is. Most of the time it will sign you in automatically depending on what your device has saved as a memory. Okay? But like I said, today we're going to be going from scratch. So I will be typing in my email address below in the red bar. nking@epssworks.com is what I will be using, and I'm going to enter in my password that I would like to use to create my account. Awesome. Now, I usually don't like to keep myself signed in on a device. You never know what can happen if someone can break into your computer or something, but you don't want to do that. You click the I am human button, of course, because just got to make sure that we're human if we're a computer. And then I'm going to click create account. Fabulous. Now I'm not going to save my password yet again on this site, but my account is now created. Now there's a lot of times where you'll have to go into your email to receive and confirm your account, which I'm also going to show you guys quickly here at this time. Yep, because they have sent me an email to confirm. So sorry about that. Let me just go into here. Just going to open up the email from Indeed. Perfect. So these are my job alerts. And I just received one from Indeed. Please confirm your email address Indeed is asking me to do. So with me doing that, I'm going to scroll down to the big blue button that says confirm your Indeed account. I'm going to click that. It's going to open up another web page, and my email address has been confirmed for me to continue using Indeed. Okay? So I'm now going to click continue, and it takes me back to the main page. So with that page now open, I'm going to close the other page that I had open to create my account. Okay, perfect. Now, now that I have my account created, I want to start filling in my job profile. This part takes a little bit of work, and sometimes you're able to upload your resume and everything is good to go. It fills in great, sometimes not, but we're going to go through that now. So I have confirmed my email address. I now have a little messages box right here. I also have my notifications bell right here, and I have a little man up here. Now this is the area where the upload your resume and sign in used to be, but now that I've created an account, my email address shows up under the little man. Profile option, my jobs option, my reviews option, email preferences, search preferences, and account. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is hit profile. This is my job bank profile, and I want to make sure that they have everything on it that I will need to job search. Next thing I'm going to do is upload a resume. Okay, so I'm going to click this button, and then a folder opens up, right? So for some people, you will have your resume saved on your computer. For other people, it may not be saved on your computer. For more information on how to access your resume when it's on the computer, please contact your staff, okay? And we will help you to the best of our abilities. All right, so today I will be using my own resume. I'm just going to cover up all the stuff that may be in that box. And we're going to use that. I'm going to open it up. Okay. So my resume I have chosen and I clicked open, right? So as soon as you've decided which document you want to open, here, I'll click replace. So as soon as you've chosen which document you want to open, so I'll go down to my resume again. Okay, I've chosen my resume. I've clicked open. It's updating and saving it. And now we're good to go. Now it's recommended below that I convert my file to an Indeed resume. So I'm going to take their suggestion and do that. So that means my original file will be replaced with a version that I can update on Indeed at any time. And usually that's the one that we want to go for. That's the one that I've been doing this whole time. I'm pretty sure that you guys also have your just original resume saved on here. But usually when you convert, then they have you fill in your automatic job bank, fill in your job bank profile with everything that may be missing. So we're going to continue. There we go. And that's exactly what we wanted to do. So we pre-filled your editable online resume. So we're going to check for mistakes we might have made. They may have made, which they do all the time. And then we're going to refine using personalized tips. So I'm going to review my resume, guys. We start with the basics. With my profile name, first name, Natasha, last name, King. Entering your city sometimes helps, so I'm going to enter Red Deer as so. There we go. I'm sorry if I'm moving the camera. So Red Deer is in. Okay. My phone number is there. And I can also choose to call and send text messages or I can also get calls and text messages from Indeed if I click this option below. I don't want to do that though, so I'm going to click next. Now I'm going to review the education piece on my resume. So when you're creating your resume, guys, it's always good to make sure, just covering up my camera so that I can open up my resume and show you guys that I like to keep my resume open on the computer when I am working on filling out a profile. I like to be able to copy and paste or just make sure all of my information is quickly handy just in case there's anything I need to fill in. Okay, so Just excuse me there. Okay, got my resume up on the screen, and I'm going to make it a bit small just in case I need to make my other screen small as well. There we go. Perfect. So as you guys can see, my resume is now up on the screen, okay? And my resume is up here so that if, like I said, if I need to copy and paste anything in the Indeed Job Bank, I'm able to do so now. So I'm working on my education piece, so I'm going to just scroll down my resume to the education section and make sure everything that's on the education section that is here matches up with the education section that is here on the Indeed resume. So I'm also going to just put these side by side. So like I said, I can see both my resume and the Indeed Job Bank. It can also help me fill this out way faster. Saves me a lot of time. Like I said, if you guys don't have Microsoft Word on your computer, sometimes there's other ways to be able to download your resume. Sometimes you do have to fill it in automatically, unfortunately. That happens too. I know quite a few of you guys have had to do that just because you don't have Microsoft Word on your computer, and that's the program that we use to create your resumes. Like I said, please speak to your staff about any help you may need in regards to getting your resume on here. But this is why we're also making this video, so that we can use this as an example. So checking my education, I have all of my correct information in there. I'm just going to click the edit stick just to make sure. They didn't enter my level of education, so I'm going to put that in there, which is my bachelor's degree. They were incorrect about my field of study. My field of study was not leadership. My field of study was biology. So I'm going to type that incorrectly. My school is correct. Where I went to school, the city, is correct. I am not currently going there, so I'm not going to click that box. Okay. Follow my mouse, everybody. And I was there from this time, September 2008 to May 2014. That is correct. So I'm going to now save that. Okay, perfect. That looks good. That's exactly what I have saved. Next, I go on to my experience. Okay, so they have only added one piece of my work experience into the Indeed resume. And the first one that they've added is missing a whole bunch of information. Right? So like I said, guys, even when Indeed has automatically put your resume on here, they don't always add all of the information that is on your resume, as you can clearly see. They only added one area of experience for me when I clearly had 3 listed on my resume. So I'm going to start filling in my information correctly. And because I like to go quickly, I'm going to copy and paste what my job title was for this my first position that I want posted. Then I'm also going to change the company name because that was in there incorrectly. The company name is on my resume, EPSS. So I'm going to copy and paste the company. Okay. Where do I work? Red Deer, Alberta. So I start typing that in and it comes up automatically. Awesome. I am currently working here. So I'm going to click that box. And I started September of 2017. Okay. Now for the description part, this is usually the part that I'd love to have a quick copy and paste, but they have all of the wrong description in because they took a different job. So I'm going to click copy. And then I'm just going to replace all of the information that was here. I'm erasing all of it. And I am pasting the correct list. The correct description of this position that I'm currently in. Now that I have my correct job title, company, city, the time that I've worked from and to at this position, as well as the correct description of the position. I am now going to save this box on Indeed. Perfect. Now my correct work experience for the correct position and all of the correct information that I want on my Indeed resume is now on there. Perfect. What I want to do next is add my next position. So I'm going to click Add Experience. Okay, let me cancel that. I'm going to show you guys that one more time. So right under the work experience, I know people tend to have difficulty finding where else you can add the other 2 or 3 or 4 positions you have on your resume as extra experience. There's always usually a button below or to the side. Plus sign means you can add more information. You can add another section to the section that you're working on. I'm going to do that now. So add experience. That opens up another box where I can add in all of my job title, company, job description, when I was working from that job to from. So let's do that now. So the first thing they need is my job title. So my job title is then again the same from the previous company, employment specialist, CDSW. So I'm going to paste that above. Company name is Action Group. And I'm going to put that into the company name bar on Indeed. It even comes up. Where I was working was the Red Deer location, so I'm going to put in Red Deer, Alberta. I am not currently working there, as this was a previous job, so I will not be filling that part in. But I will be clicking when I started, which is from May 2016. And I worked there until September of 2017 in that position. Awesome. So now that I have that information added, I'm going to not copy and paste the whole document, but I'm definitely going to come on. What did I do? So sometimes when you copy and paste, if you're not careful, things can get messed up. Luckily, I know how to fix those sections on my resume. What I'm going to be doing now, though, is adding the description for this position, like so. And it didn't bullet point the last one, so I'm going to add that bullet point through Indeed. There we go. Okay. And they have buttons that you can either click numbering to or that you can do bullet pointing for, right? It just depends on what your preference is or what's on your resume. Usually we use bullet point on your resume, keep it nice and simple. If bullet pointing is too difficult, then you guys can always just remove them completely, right? Because I have them set, it just automatically makes it a bullet point when I erase and go back. So that's what's happening there. So now I've entered my second position. I want to save this. And I now have 2 of my positions posted. Okay? So, you know what? I think that as an example for you guys, me adding just the 2 positions is good because I would like to show you all the pieces of creating your job profile today in our workshop. I want to get a chance to show you all of it. So now that I have my positions, all of my work experience, okay? So when you guys are filling this out, you will always fill out all of your work experience information. Employers are going to want to know whatever experience you have related to their jobs. And whatever positions you're applying for, you want to make sure that you have your skills and description of what you did there listed so that employers are aware of your past experience as well as what you are currently up to date with being able to do. Awesome. So now we move on to the skills section, okay? So above, we've had basics, education, experience. We are now down to skills. So your skills section, guys, will usually be located at the top of your resume. My skill sections is called key responsibilities. So for my skills, based off of my key responsibilities, I have case management experience, developmental disabilities experience, right? These are ones that they have just suggested. So I'm going to add some of those suggestions based off of what they thought would work best on my resume. Autism experience. Yes, I do. Social work is something that we're kind of doing all the time. It's kind of the field of work we live in. But I don't think I'm specifically a social worker, so I think I'm going to leave that one off. Now, when it comes to adding my own specific skills, I want to have my specific skill list that I created on my resume here. So I'm going to copy and paste my skills list, and I'm going to add to that. I don't like that I have the bullet point there as the rest of the skills don't, so I'm going to be editing that, removing the bullet point, provides experience. Oh, this is a new section where you can add how much experience you've had, how many years of experience you've had providing or working on this skill or doing this skill. That is very cool. That is very cool. So if you are interested, so my skill here, creation of a whole new program format for providing improved employment services to clients. I would say about now that would have been a year's worth of work because we started working on creating a new kind of program for you guys last year, I think November. So we're a little bit over a year of when we've worked on that skill. So I'm going to save that. That's pretty cool. I'm going to move on to my next skill. I'm going to right click, copy, right click, paste. I'm going to make sure that there's no bullet point in this line. So I'm going to move my mouse all the way back using my arrows on my keyboard, clicking backspace in front of the S, clicking add. Okay. So for this one, how long I had to work on this specific skill, they didn't have me bring up a year level. So I guess it depends on what type of skill. Indeed will add different options for you to add some maybe more information that may be helpful to your job search. Very cool. Computers do some really cool stuff nowadays. I'm on to my third skill. I'm going to copy and paste that in here. I'm going to make sure there's no bullet points. And I'm going to click add. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward how to add the skills from your resume, as well as to add the suggested skills above based off of what they've taken from your resume. Not everything may be related to you guys. You don't have to add everything that is suggested, right? But if it is related to you, awesome, add it, okay? So now I've added quite a few of my skills. In a regular job bank profile, when I wasn't making a video, I would make sure to add every single skill because, again, you want to make sure that your whole resume is up on Indeed so that the employers that are looking at your resume can see, oh, wow, these are all the skills that this person has. These would be a great asset to my business, right? Or, oh, this is all the experience this person has. Great asset. So now that I've finished filling out my skills, we're going to go to the next step. Now, guys, there's also a previous step button under the next button when you're filling out these profiles. If you made a mistake or you feel like you missed something or you feel like you needed to add something, you can always go back and fix everything. Even after we have reviewed and saved the resume, you still can go back and fix and change everything. Okay? So that's what we're going to be. So we're going to continue on. Next. Okay. There we go. So now, Indeed has my online resume draft up so far. They have all of my basic information that I entered. They're missing my headline or summary, so we're going to have to add that. So, Natasha King, my headline would be Employment Specialist, as that is my current job and that is the job that I'm interested in doing. Now, most of you guys will usually have a summary. Most of the time you guys will have an objective on the top of your resumes. I don't have an objective on top of mine. Mine was made a little bit differently, as I usually always attach a cover letter to my resume. I like to specifically tailor, right? Especially when the more focused you are on your job search, I'll put it like this, guys. The more focused you are on your job search, the more work you end up putting into your job search. So if you're somebody who doesn't like just having an objective on your resume, which would be a summary of what job you're looking for, why you're looking for that job, and what experience you can bring to that job, right? Then you can go with a cover letter instead. I like a cover letter because, like I said, you can tailor it specifically. Just like Jennifer said last week, you can tailor it specifically to the job that you are applying for. You can show the company that you've not only researched information about them, you can show them what experience you have, why you would be the best fit for the job, why they should call you in for an interview. So, with that said, does not hurt to have a summary on the Indeed job bank. So all of you guys, I want you to copy and paste your objectives, your work objectives from your resume into the summary part. Like I said, I don't have one. So what I'm going to do is just type up a little bit of objective. I am looking for a full-time position as an employment specialist in the community. I have multiple years of experience providing employment services such as skill development. Sorry, don't mind my typing, guys. I'm trying to type as quickly as I talk right now, as I talk and think right now. So, providing employment services such as skill development, job matching, and employment connections. Okay, so I will put something like that as a summary of what I've done, what I am looking for, just a short, quick summary. Not the best summary I've ever made. I'm thinking on my toes right now. There's a lot more we do in our jobs. I'm just making something quick. So that's the summary that I'm going to add because I want to have something on my resume showing the employers that, yes, this is the experience that I have and what I'm looking for, et cetera, et cetera. My city is Red Deer, Alberta. My postal code, T4N. I like to put that in there. I am willing to relocate. If you are not willing to relocate, do not click that button. If you plan on staying here, make sure you stay here. Relocation can mean a number of things. Maybe it's relocation to a store in a different city or to a different store in the city that you live in. If you're interested in moving to a different agency, if I was looking to move to a different agency within Red Deer, then I would not click that button, right? And there is no EPSS outside of Central Alberta, so no, I wouldn't be willing to relocate regardless. Then I have my email address and I have my phone number, and I'm going to click save because now that section is completed for me. It now includes my headline, which is employment specialist right here at the top. And then it also has my summary that I added. Right below that, we have a personal details section. So we're going to click the plus sign there. It asks you here what your highest level of education is. Okay, mine is a bachelor degree. So now that I have that, I'm going to click save. For those of you who don't want to add your education or don't feel comfortable adding your education because you don't have a diploma, they even have the option of you putting that you don't have a diploma. But if you don't feel comfortable, that is okay, right? If you've already added your education and what level you have it up to below, you're good. And they do have that below. Then they have my work experience section with the 2 positions that I added, and I showed you guys how to do that. They have my education section, like I was just mentioning. Okay, so the only extra personal details they wanted to know was what my highest level of education was. All right, and I have my level of education here. Okay, then I have my skills. So they still have a list of suggested skills, but I can dismiss that now. All right. And then it just shows my list of skills that I had added. Certifications and licenses. This is also where you will want to put in any documentation that you may have that's related to your job. So for me, related to my job would be first aid. So I have my standard first aid CPR AED level C, which is required for our job. And I'm going to add that here. Okay, this certification or license does not expire, but it does. Mine's expires. I just got mine last year sometime. I think it was March of 2020, and it will last, I think, till March of 2023. I have my actual card in my wallet. I'm just throwing in some dates so that I can show you guys an example of how to enter it. It's always good to have your expiry dates on your resume, just so that that information is readily available for you. You also don't want to have anything listed on your resume that is expired at any point in time, because then that means you don't really have it unless it just expired. But this is why you want to continuously update your resume. And there's no description of that certification, as it's pretty much straightforward. It's first aid. So that is one of the licenses certifications I have added, but I have numerous certifications that I could use. That was just the one that I chose to use. So then below we have additional information. So I usually like to click that just to see, that's if you want to add any extra information about yourself. We haven't put references in there before. I don't think that would be harmful to put references if you wanted to do that. Then there's other sections that you can also add in information that's pertinent to you. So if you're somebody who's bilingual, if you speak both Spanish and English, maybe that's something that you want to put in. Okay? Save that information. Links. So this is where you can add your Facebook link, your Twitter link, Instagram, any connections to social media. You can also attach that to your Jobs Indeed page. Military service, any awards, any groups that you've participated in, any patents that you may have, or any publications that you may have created, right? So any information that may be pertinent to you, anything amazing that you may have done. It looks like they kind of give you enough space to fill that in here on the online Indeed resume. So for me, now that I've reviewed everything, right? And you will review everything, guys. Again, this is an example video of how to fill in each section of an Indeed resume that is the most pertinent when applying. It's the most important piece when applying, okay? Awesome. So On the right side, you have options to delete this resume, download as a PDF, replace with a different resume, and you can visit the help center if you need help, okay? You also have privacy settings on the side. You'll probably want to keep your resume public so that employers can find your resume. If it's private, then employers will not be able to find your resume and will only be able to see if you're interested, if you're good or qualified for a job when you apply. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay. There we go. Okay. Messed it up a little bit. So mine is set to public. Now I'm going to save and continue. Perfect. So now they have a step 5 of 5, which is additional information. So the desired job title under job preferences, because now they want to know what it is you prefer when you're looking for a job. So I'm, again, an employment specialist. They have it in the list, so I'm going to add that there. I would be looking for full-time work if I was looking for work. And I'll just throw in what I would feel my yearly salary is, something, maybe $50,000 per year, I guess. Okay, we'll just throw that in there as a desired salary per year. I'd love to make that per year. That'd be awesome. I'm not willing to relocate. And then this part is optional. What you make per year at one job, what you make per year at another job. You don't have to put that, but if you do, it stays confidential as they state here. It's just a salary survey that they have going, but I'm not going to participate. So I'm just going to click next. And saving. There it is. This is my Indeed resume, completed and ready to share. All details are in there. Now, please note, guys, even with the resume being completed, you've done a review, you've added all this extra personal information. These little pens to the right of your information mean that you can always edit your information. The little trash cans next to that information means you can delete that information. Just because this information is now on Indeed doesn't mean that you can't change, add, or edit it at any point in time. Okay? So that's the basics for how to upload, edit, enter, and create a job bank profile on the Indeed job bank. Okay? I hope that this workshop was very useful for you guys today and helpful for you guys today. And I hope you learned a lot. Again, it's the same options on both the right side for deleting your resume, downloading your Indeed resume. You can even share a link to your Indeed resume for somebody to take a look at if you would like to do that. And again, you can always add and edit any information you would like to this resume. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for your time today. So let's wrap it up, shall we? As I've kept you guys here for a lot of time so far. All right. Join us Thursday. Thank you guys so much for joining us for today's workshop. We are always happy to have you all participating with us every week. Okay? Join us for the workshop discussion on Thursday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. For all our clients that are either job searching or are working and needing to maintain employment, please check our page daily for any updates on job fairs, job postings, employment tips, and tricks, and for any other announcements that may come up. We also have a YouTube page, just as a reminder, and you can access it if you need to watch the workshop videos from there instead. I also want to remind you all to like our videos after you have watched them. For those of you who made previous arrangements with your staff about letting us know when you have watched the workshops, please continue to do what is planned for you specifically. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining us, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.